A new report by RBC says the Canadian economy will continue to improve.
Hal, the study says we should see some moderate growth now and into 2012.
Well, do you remember that song, Walk the Line by Johnny Cash? It's a little bit like that. And it's thanks mostly to the downturn in Europe and the continued growth in the United States. The study says that Canada will experience moderate economic growth of about 2.5%. Now, supporting that expansion will be continuing low interest rates, high commodity prices, and a U.S. economy that should also expand at a rate of about 2.5%. Well, there's some good news today if you have big lines of credit or a mortgage tied to the prime interest rate. The Bank of Canada kept the key overnight interest rate at 1%. Weaker economic conditions is the biggest reason behind the decision. Economists have been saying borrowing costs need to stay low until the world economy becomes a little more stable. Well, the Bank of Canada announcement didn't help the markets too much today. The TSX was down 38 points. The Dow gained 52. Oil was up again today, 29 cents at just over $101 a barrel. Natural gas was up 35 cents. The loonie was up for the second straight day to close the day at 99.05. Slight drop today for gold, down at $270 to $1,732 per ounce. Another bank has moved to the Stampede City. The Bank of China has opened up shop downtown on 5th Avenue and 3rd Street Southwest. Now, the bank has 8 branches across Canada with close to 170 employees and assets of just over $800 million. Bruce Graham, who is the manager of the Calgary Economic Development Authority, says the amount of Chinese living in our city played a major role in why the Bank of China opened up a location here.
There's a substantial Chinese-Canadian population here, which I think they can tap into in a market that they can grow. Secondly, our resource economy, our linkages to China are growing. We've got 3 national oil companies from China that have a base of operations in Calgary now, so I think they can take advantage of the growth of investment from China that's coming into Calgary and Canada.
The Bank of China will be celebrating its 100th anniversary in 2012. The first branch opened in Toronto's Chinatown way back in 1994. A major battle is underway between Ottawa and the Canadian Wheat Board. The board is not happy with the government's decision to strip away its monopoly over sales of Western wheat and barley. The board says the government acted illegally by not allowing a plebiscite for producers. Ottawa says they just want farmers the option of being able to sell their grain wherever they want. The passage of Bill C-18 in the Senate should come down before December 16th. Now, you can have your say about the future of the Canadian Wheat Board by signing the online petition at savethecwb.ca. In less than 24 hours, Standard & Poor's has fired a second warning shot at the Eurozone. They're threatening to cut the credit rating of its $440 billion financial rescue fund. European leaders have been racing to find a political solution to their sovereign debt crisis. German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President Nicolas Sarkozy want to change the EU rules to have penalties on Eurozone states that exceed deficit targets. They both maintain that market trust needs to be restored to prevent the crisis from simply spiraling out of control. 27 EU nations are taking part in the summit, hoping to turn the corner of the crisis and allowing them to access ECB funding. Well, thousands of football fans raced to buy shares in the Green Bay Packers today as part of a special stock offering. Now, even though shares went at $250 a pop and have virtually no cash value beyond bragging rights, that didn't stop fans from lining up. The Packers are the only publicly owned professional sports franchise south of the border in the U.S. Being a storied franchise and the defending Super Bowl champs kind of helps explain why the new stock offering is going so well.
All of the money that we raise through the stock sale has to go into the stadium. So it can't be used for coaches' salaries or player salaries.
Now, the PAC is hoping to sell about 250,000 shares. The team says it needs about $143 million to help renovate the legendary Lambeau Field. Are you in, Gord? Linda, what do you think?
You know what? I'm a Packer fan,
There
so
you go.
I might just drop something on that. $250? No, forget it. Not going to happen at Christmas. Thanks, Al.
Thanks.
Well, reflection off a neighbor's window causing a homeowner's siding to warp. Her insurance company says, too bad.
Plus, Christmas cards are still a